続きましてチーム3、花輪第二中学校木村太朗さん、テーマはですね Education for all the people です。よろしくお願いします。
Hello, I'm going to talk about world problems. I'd like to help people in this world. Are you happy? Are there people in this world that are not happy? Actually, there are. The World Happiness Report shows there are many countries with a low happiness level. Surprisingly, of the top 10 unhappy countries, 6 of them reside in Africa. Why do so many people feel unhappy there? I think it's because they have very few chances where they can control their own lives. If I was in a situation, I would keep struggling with my lack of options and the reason associated with this. So we need options, but how do we make options? I think the key is education. Why education? In the world, there are millions of children who cannot get an education. One problem is where they get education. Look at this slide. There are 13 challenges for children to get an education. For example, in some countries, cost and safety is a hurdle. So going to school is a huge war for children in some countries. I know there are many organizations which provide support for children to be able to go to school. However, this current support system runs based on the idea that children need schools. One idea that I was able to come up with is we can learn things even when we are not in school. Since the current setting and style of learning environment takes too much time, I suggest a breakthrough educational approach, that is CTLT. CTLT is the education approach concept where children can learn anytime and anywhere. Come on, come all, ladies and gentlemen, I'll tell you how wonderful CTLT is so that children can start learning. C means call. A child calls his or her friends. T means teach. The child teaches things to his or her friends. L means learn. The children learn new things from the child. Lastly, T means tell. The children tell what they have learned to their other friends or siblings and spread learning throughout the community. The two crucial points of this approach are the children educating themselves and helping each other. Children need education right now. To make this approach successful, we have to think out of the box. In the CTLT, children spread learning. In order to do CTLT, we as volunteers should build a foundation for them. First, we visit children, then use materials. Lastly, talking with parents and local people is very important. If we are successful, we will overcome the issues of current support system. First, we only need regular visit. It's difficult for people to live in different countries and be a teacher. Second, we bring useful materials like this arithmetic set, and if teach how to use it and learn with it so they can use it without our help. Third, we talk with parents and have them understand the importance of education. Education is not only needed by the children, but also by the parents. We must stress the importance to people at the age of the parents of understanding this idea and its benefit. Some parents in developing countries might think their children have to work to live. The benefits of CTLT are these: we can save more money than the current support system. Moreover, the number of education with children with rapidly increase, then the happiness level in the world will increase too. I'm happy if you understand how wonderful CTLT is. Once again, why is the education the solution to all the problems in the world? Can you imagine the argument happening in the schools? When the children are fighting, who helps them? A teacher. The teacher makes them reconcile their differences. However, if the children's mind don't mature, argument will continue to happen. When the children might become mature, they will be identify the good points in themselves and each other, and the argument will stop. Conflicts arise because people cannot think that the solution is violence. If people learn how to discuss their differences and reconcile them, I believe that the number of conflicts will decrease. People in the world can grow their own minds through education. One curious point that I found was that those of us on these conflicts should not just idly stand by and watch conflicts. We can help by providing initial teaching for CTLT. Developed countries are key countries in helping build a bridge between developing countries and the people. A well-established sharing program like CTLT will lead to improvement on the world's problems, such as poverty, conflicts, and racism. Today, a 15-year-old boy would like to ask you a favor. Please be a person who helps people in need. Please give us materials like this and go and hand over the materials. Please help me make an organization for CTLT. Please make wonderful smiles bloom in the world. The role of education is not for getting good scores on tests, but growing and getting better with people. Education allows the growth of skills like this. If we can keep good relationship with these skills, we can make a better world. CTLT will open new doors for people to build a foundation of their lives. People in developing countries can continue CTLT cycle by themselves to grow independence. People in developed countries until they can acquire the independence. I'm hoping all the people will be happy. Thank you for listening.
はい、ありがとうございました。それでは審査員の先生方ご質問をどうぞ。はい、斉藤先生。
Yeah, thank you very much for the wonderful presentation. I was very into your ideas, and so you say that you'd like to start up your own organization. If you were given some money, what kind of role would you like to take, maybe as a representative, and what would you like to do as a first step if you were given the opportunity to start your own organization?
First step. I will go and developing countries and teach how to use this arithmetic set and studying with developing countries children.
Thank you. So can I ask one more question?
Please.
And so you, I really like your concept. And where do they study? Like at school or at home or online? How is this kind of a service offered?
Developing countries don't have money to build up school, so we don't have to use school on this system. So we use friend's house and children gather to children's house. So in there, the children educating themselves.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
はい、じゃあクリス先生どうぞ。
Very nice. I love education. What do you think of the language barrier? It says in Japanese, but in Afghanistan they don't speak Japanese. What is your thought?
So I'm sorry.
Okay, one more time. So, what do you think of the language? There's many countries, Afghanistan, you had Sudan, but they don't speak Japanese, for example, or English. So how will you think of the language barrier for your material?
I think we can English. So we talk with their children in English. So the developing countries can learn English and math and something. You're welcome.
よろしいですか。はい、ありがとうございました。僕はね、学習学っていうのを提案してて、 ラーニングプラネットっていうのをね実現したいと思ってるんで、ぜひ協力していただけると嬉しいなと勝手に横で聞いて思ってました。はい、ありがとうございました。みんなすごいよね。この中学生高校生でこんだけ喋れちゃうっていうことがなんかね、僕の、自分自身の中学生高校生の時を思うともう覚醒の感がございますけれども、近頃の若者はすごいなと思いますけどね。